Well, it's my birthday. And I wanted to take a moment to share with you a little bit about what I do in and around my birthday. In addition to making lots of wishes, specific wishes for this year, I also like to take a moment to reflect, to look back on the previous year and think about what went well, what did I intend to make progress on, and in my intentions, not just with work, but with life and my family and myself, and where am I now? And unlike many people who kind of go, I'm a year older. No, not at all. I'm psyched. I'm 52. I'm feeling awesome. In fact, I wish my 52-year-old self could go back to my 32-year-old self and tell her to lighten up and have so much more fun and to trust myself more and to stop taking life so seriously. But here we are at 52. And I wanted to share a little bit with you about some thoughts as I continually move forward, getting closer and closer and clearer to where this adventure is going, right? Because we're all a work in progress. And lately I've been sharing some videos about the things that I'm doing now to bring more joy, to bring more personal development, to bring more calm and clarity into my life. Things like dance. I've been participating in lots of dance experiences, ecstatic dance on the beach, Daybreaker, which if you haven't checked them out, they're incredible, dancing at dawn, and also joining friends to dance, dancing in my house, just moving my body. So good. The other thing that I'm prioritizing is nature, getting out in nature, whether that's walks on the beach, taking hikes in nature with friends. I was over at my friend's house the other day and there was just the most magnificent chorus of frogs and it made me so happy. I'm thrilled to be producing and leading a retreat with Christine Carlson in Costa Rica. We experienced the magic of being absolutely enveloped in the magic of the jungle there, and it really was life-altering. So looking at the landscape of the world right now, which can be so alarming in so many different ways, I can also see a trend where we are literally, I would say, I was going to say drowning, but getting sucked into our digital reality. Of course, there is the emergence of AI. We don't have to have a big discussion about that right now. But if you just think about your day-to-day habits and how they have changed over the last decade, the fact that we all, not all, that's such a gross generalization, but many of us have sort of taken for granted that it's normal that we spend an incredible amount of time getting involved on our phones, on our screens, whatever that looks like for you, your screens. Habits of waking up, checking your screen, looking at your screen before bed, checking your, all of your devices throughout the day. Many of us work on computers. And over time, if we do it over and over again without awareness, suddenly it does change the way that we think. It changes the way that we behave as a culture. Now, I'm feeling that in my own life. I'm also the mother of 2 teenage boys, and I see the contrast, for example, when one of my sons loves baseball. He's a terrific baseball player. He's on an amazing high school team with an incredible coach and incredible families. And as we participate as a team and as a family, we are given these experiences for the joy that comes with in real life experiences. And as our team is advancing to playoffs, and they've been winning, but it even isn't about the winning. It's about all being together as a community and the camaraderie, the connection, the high fives, the hugs, the cheering, the suspense when things are, neck and neck. And I was reflecting at one of the games, I said, there's just no better kind of fun. Now here is where I think we're at a crossroads. I think that if we are wanting to change the world, if we are wanting more for ourselves, if we are wanting to make our wishes come true, it's waking up to remember, to remind yourself, because I'm of the generation that I most certainly remember life before a cell phone. But we need to remember what it feels like to come together in community, what it feels like to be surrounded by nature, to let go of our phones, to remember we are here in real life, in our bodies. Sometimes I call them our God pods, and that is actually how we taste the sweetness of life. So as I look towards this year, as I'm planning my year, as I'm thinking about my year, as I am imagining where my family are going to spend our precious minutes this year, I can see the reorientation of priorities around that in-person experiences, community experiences, gathering, dancing, meals together, wishing together, prioritizing retreats, wish camps, prioritizing working with young people, teaching them wishing. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed, and I don't say that in a way to be scared about that, but I recognize that it is up to us individually to really build what we desire and what we deserve. And to me, I feel so overwhelmingly fortunate to have been to have invested so much time in this study, in this inquiry, to have cultivated the most amazing collection of friends and community members that are willing to jump in the proverbial playground of life with me and share in this experience, whether it's professionally or personally. I feel so overwhelmingly grateful for this body that has been through some things and has come out stronger on the other side. So as I look towards this 52nd year, that's the lens that I'm really, really focusing on, that I'm gaining clarity on. Connection, community, impact. And I feel that there is this opportunity for each of us to really take some ownership on our actions, our thoughts, our deeds, our energy. Our energy is a contribution to the consciousness that's going on around us. So while we can sit in criticism and judgment and horror and dismay and awe, what would it feel like to shift that perspective from criticism to curiosity, to something that's a little bit more open, to the energy of like, if I catch myself in a very judgmental moment, and I do, I'm human, how can I catch myself in that moment, that energy, and shift it ever so slightly and just say, why? Why do I feel that way? What's going on what's going on with my thoughts? What's going on with this situation? How could I see it from the opposite point of view? Just curiosity. Because I think that with habits in a digital world, where it is all too easy to shout from your couch and your keyboard, that it has given us a perception of reality that is very, very skewed, and we are so easily manipulated, all of us. So how can we go back to a simpler time? How can we go back and see what is really, really important to us? How can we go back and realize that each one of us can make a more positive impact in our own lives, in the lives of our immediate family and friends, and then in our communities? And from that, these rings of impact, that's how we change things. So here we are, May 2024. Can you imagine? May of 2024. And where do we want to be? Where do I want to be a year from now, May of 2025? What are the things that I'm going to celebrate that happened in this next year? That's where I'm spending my energy on, in gratitude, in goal setting, in wish making, in really mapping things out and saying, what can I say a full body yes to? So the big shift, the big shift that I'm making in my life is really owning the fact that I am here to teach the world to wish, to teach the world to remember their own magic and build the confidence to go after that wish with everything they've got. And not just the confidence, but actually the skills, the experiences. And the more people that do this, and the more people that share their stories, and the more people that said, oh my God, my wish came true, it inspires other people to do the same. And so this is my time to actually evolve how I show up in the world. And whereas I used to, because I was figuring it out and I was building it on the fly, as many entrepreneurs do, I really positioned myself as a confidence and communication teacher. I do that. I have done that. In fact, I have to pinch myself that I have like over 250,000 students around the world who take my courses. But then I really step back and say, but what are my really big wishes that I'm working for and towards? And that's to unite the world in wishing. That is to awaken everybody up to what's possible. It's like we've all been walking around asleep, not thinking that we're powerless to all these big forces in the world. We are not powerless. We are powerful. We are infinitely powerful, each one of us, the same amount, because each one of us has the same amount of light. Everyone. And if we can understand and come from that place of understanding, love, compassion, vision, strength, courage, possibility, if we can all come from that place, imagine if we all woke up to that, the world would look totally different. Totally different. So my feeling is that if you are finding this video, this podcast, wherever you're finding it, you're already on board with everything that I'm saying. And while you may think, oh, I can't do that. That's fun for Alexa. I'll just sort of watch Alexa TV. But that's not for me. I'm too old or too this or too that, or I don't have enough, Wherever you are, I am telling you, you do have what you need. You may not believe it just yet, and that's okay. But if you just take the tiniest action to move you from feeling stuck and scared to a tiny bit more hopeful and curious, you're on your way. You're on your way. And I feel like now at 52, I feel like for the last decade, I've been planting so many wish seeds. Oh my gosh, planting so many seeds, and saying, I see this, I can imagine this, I'm going to put this over here. And people would say, Alexa, you're doing too much. Alexa, you have to focus your energy. You can't do it all. Alexa, blah, 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 blah. All very nice, intended people telling me, all very well-intended things. But what's funny is I had to plant all those seeds. I had to plant seeds of courses, and I had to plant seeds of intention-setting jewelry, and I had to plant seeds of doing workshops for thousands of teenagers, and I had to plant seeds of making a book, wrote a book. I had to plant seeds of writing a children's book, never got published yet, because these are all seeds. But now, at 52, those sprouts are coming up. They're popping up. And every time they pop up, suddenly the path gets clearer and clearer and clearer. Because now I'm starting to see those wishes come to fruition. And now I'm like, oh wait, what? What's happening? I didn't plan this, but I did. And so you have to understand that your wishes are seeds, but it's up to you to plant the seed. Because things are happening now, I'm seeing them now, they're blooming now, that I planted years ago. So when we can befriend time and understand that it just takes time. I think about it, I made my first course maybe 10 years ago, video online course, 10 years ago. And about 3 years into it, my publishing partner, Udemy, decided to change all of their pricing structure. And anyway, they changed because it's their business. They can do whatever they want. They changed, and I had some of my courses over there. And I remember feeling so frustrated. And I remember feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing. And all these other people are taking their courses and they're selling them for a lot more. And I should do that. And I'm doing this wrong. And I'm doing this wrong. This was my thought. I'm doing this wrong. Why can't I figure this out? And I almost pulled my classes off. And at the time, I think I had about 16,000 students. And I just said, I'm not doing this right. But I didn't quit. And I didn't pull my classes off. Because I thought, right now, they are reaching people and they're helping people. So just let it go. Let it run its course and see what happens. And here I am, 52 years old, 10 years later. I think the last time I checked, it was maybe 227,000 students around the world. 163 countries. People that I would likely never meet, but I am so thrilled that maybe something that I say in one of these courses, which are lots of courses and many, many hours of work and many, many hours of teaching, I'm so honored that maybe something that I said moved them from feeling stuck or hesitant to empowered. What an honor. What an honor. So as you're sitting thinking about your next wish, remember that you just have the courage to make the wish. That's the first step. And so here at 52, I'm making some really big wishes. I'm making a big wish to have Wish Camp happen. It's already happening. I'm doing one in Costa Rica. Just had a call this morning for a new venue in Ocala, Florida. And it's starting to happen. Like, it's now coming to me. I am not generating everything. It's coming to me. This is the sprouting. I see great things for doing work in schools. People are coming into my life to support that. I see big, big things that I want to do with another project called Wishes One. So things are happening, but this stuff took time. And as it unfolds, it's not even about the destination of it. It's about the joy, the connection, the friendships. It's like all the fun stuff that happens along the way. It's the teaching that comes from sharing it with my children and having them be a part of this unfolding. So if you ask yourself, I'll ask myself, how can it be a win-win-win formula? How good could this get? And instead of that terrible question that everyone always asks, what's the worst case scenario? Screw that. You have to ask yourself, what's the best case scenario? What's the best that could happen? What is the absolute best case scenario here? We empower children across the nation to learn how to wish. We do entire programs in schools so they understand that wishing is part of cultivating a practice of well-being. That sounds great. Okay, what's the best that could happen? That this program goes international? Because wishing can transcend cultural norms and boundaries. Like it's available. This childlike thing is available to anybody, regardless of their background. Yeah, why not? So, you don't have to have a birthday to wish for yourself. You can wish as many times as you want. You can wish 10 times a day, to 100, whatever. But there is a method to my madness, my beautiful madness. And I know now that it's my time to put my stake in the ground and firmly planted declaring the world of wishing with Alexa Fisher. Because I would love for that to be my legacy of love on the planet. So that people can forget my name, that's fine. But boy, oh boy, would I love it if the real world really learned the power of their own wishes, and that each individual wish, each wish from their heart, is part of the creation of a world that we all want to live in, that we all deserve to live in. A world that is rooted in love, compassion, kindness, courage, creativity, connection, all those things. And wishing is just such an easy way in. Such an easy way in. So that's what you're going to find in my work for now. This is what you're going to find in the experiences that I offer, the posts that I make, the people that I get to work with, the experiences that I get to lead. I look forward to people taking the experiences and products that I have and iterating on them and using them in their own work. I don't know. We're all going to make it up. And while we're making it up, while we're having this divine dance with co-creation, who knows what's going to unfold? And that's also part of the fun. You know, wishes can evolve as they evolve, and they do evolve. But I just thank you so much for being part of this journey. If you're, you've likely seen me do other birthday announcements and celebrations, but I'm just so honored to have you here, and I'm honored that you read or watch or buy wish beads or attend events or do whatever you do. Refer it to your friends. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, thank you for being here, because I feel your love and I feel your support, and I hope that all of your wishes come true. Let's make it an amazing year, shall we? 52.